Good morning, good morning. Happy Monday, everyone. We are going to be doing some TSI math, algebra practice this morning. So if you know anybody that's studying for the TSI, hey, Miss Taylor, this is Isaiah from last year. Hi, Isaiah. Oh, I miss you guys so much. How are you doing? What you doing on my live? You supposed to be in class right now. I'm glad you're doing good. I didn't get to see you when I came up there for the Thanksgiving, when they had the Thanksgiving dinner, but I'm glad to see you doing good, Isaiah. Tell everybody I said hello. Good morning. Good morning. All right, so let's start. So number one says factor the following polynomials. So we have A, it's 6x to the fifth minus 8x to the fourth plus 2x to the third. So what we're looking for is our step one is we're going to look for the GCF, okay? So step one, find the GCF. So we're looking for a number that can go into 6, 8, and 2. So we want to find, so 2 can go into all of them. And then we're looking for the lowest variable, which is x to the third, okay? And whenever somebody says variable, that just means a letter. So we're going to divide each of these by our GCF, okay? So let me write it out here. So we're going to put 6x to the fifth minus 8x to the fourth divided by 2x to the third, and then plus 2x to the third divided by 2x to the third. Now, you always have to put your GCF on the outside, you guys. Don't forget that. And then you're going to put a big parenthesis, and then you're going to actually do the division, okay? So thank you for the double taps, everyone. Thank you, thank you. Please share this live with whoever needs help with factoring. We're going to do factoring. We're going to do, so we got some factoring. We got some solving linear equations. We have quadratics, and I think some square roots, rationals, all the above, okay? So welcome in. Happy Monday. I hope everybody had a wonderful, peaceful weekend. So 6 divided by 2 is 3, okay? We have 5 minus 3. That's supposed to be 2, so we have an x squared minus 8 divided by 2 is 4. Remember, you subtract your exponent, so 4 minus 3 is just 1x. And then 2 divided by 2 is just 1, and these cancel out. Any questions on the first one? And this is our beautiful answer. Any questions? Thank you for all the follows, you guys. Okay, no questions. Let's go to B. Does anybody know what type of factoring this is called, where you have x squared minus 25? Can you guys put it in the chat? Do we know what type of factoring this is? Thank you to share. Thank you for the share. $52. Does anybody know? This is called a difference of squares. Good, square method. Okay, difference of squares. Yes, difference of squares. And whenever you have a difference of squares, you automatically gonna go 2 parentheses, plus and a minus, okay? Difference of squares always has to have a plus and a minus. And then you're asking yourself, what times what can give you x squared? Well, x times x can give me x squared. And then what times itself can give you 25? Well, 5 times 5 can. And this is how you factor a difference of squares. Good. Dana said x plus 5, x minus 5. I love it. Okay, so let's go to C. Now this x to the third plus 27 is an algebra 2 level, okay? So you won't see this in algebra 1 for my freshmen, but you should see this in algebra 1, but you won't see this probably, okay? So a sum of cubes. Yes, it's a sum of cubes. So there's a formula. Let's talk about the formula where it says a plus b, and then you're going to have a squared and then minus. So you think it should be all plus, but you have to have a minus, and then it's ab plus b squared. Okay, that's the formula. So positive goes with minus. Just try to remember it that way. That's how I look. That's how I memorized it. I forgot how to do this. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So we're taking a cube. So what that means is my a is going to be equal to x. And then I'm thinking of a number times itself 3 times. So does anybody know the cube root of 27? What do we get? What is our b going to be? So you're thinking about a number times in itself 3 times. Good. 3, 3, 3. I see those 3s coming in. Wonderful. Yes. So now that we have what our a is, right? Wherever there's an a, we can replace it with that. And then we know what our b is, which we said was 3. So now wherever we see a b, we can replace it with that. So we're just plugging into the formula. So we're going to do x, okay, plus 3, close parenthesis. And then I'm replacing this a with x squared minus, and then we have 3 times x, which is 3x, plus b, which is 3 squared. And then this is how we factor the sum of cubes. Yes, algebra 2 level, okay? So this is algebra 2. So if it doesn't make sense, it's okay. When you get there, hopefully it will click. You'll say, I seen it. I seen this before. All right. So, and then usually we would do 3 times 3 and make this a 9. So you could go x plus 3 here, and then x squared minus 3x plus 9, okay? That's the most simplified version. Ooh, a lot of change since I was in school, but some of it was familiar. Wonderful, okay. A lot of it's changed. I know that elementary math ain't no joke. I'm like, how are they doing all these box methods and all this, the way they multiplying multiplication with multi-digits and the boxes and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, whew, it's a lot. Yes, I do tutor for the ASVAB. Email me and I'll get back to you. I have some openings this week still. So let's do D. X to the third minus 64, okay? So here, you see how we had plus with the minus? We're going to switch it. We're going to do A minus B, okay? And then everything goes to a positive. So we have A squared plus AB plus B squared. And let me double check because I don't want to send people off. Yep, that is the formula. Hey, MJ. Okay, so our A is going to be X. Can somebody X? Ooh, not B. X. And then our B is going to be. So we're thinking about a number times itself 3 times. Thank you, Kick, for the roses. Thank you for the support. Oh, I got it. Keep failing like 2 or 3 points. Oh, I know that's so frustrating when you're trying to pass a test and it's like you're so close. So please do not give up, okay? Because you're so right there. You probably need to get with a tutor, email me. We can work through the kinks, and then you can make it through. Watch my videos, do practice tests, but whatever you do, don't give up. Keep on shooting for it. You got this. You're so close. 4, 4, 4. I love it, you guys. Yes, so the cube root of 64 is 4. Wonderful. Now, for my visual people, wherever there's a B, that's where I'm putting this 4 at, okay? And then my A is an X, so I'm replacing X wherever I see an A, okay? So let's plug in. We have X minus 4 And then we have x squared plus, and then you see how it says x4, but we always put the number before. So it's 4x, so we just switch it, plus 4 to the second power. Okay, and 4 to the second power. Can you guys put this in the chat? What's 4 to the second power? Thank you, Gabriel, for the rose. Thank you so much. Okay, GED, and me and my classmates study on that and will pass surprisingly. Yes. Yep, it's really all the same math, just in different forms. Yep, different ways they ask it. 16. I love it. Good. I'm glad nobody said 8 here, okay? Remember, it's never 4 times 2. It's always 4 times 4, okay? This tells you how many times to multiply this number to itself. So wonderful, everybody. Plus 4x plus 16. And then we have x minus 4. And this is our simplified factoring. All right, let's keep it pushing. So we're factoring polynomials. We have a little bit more factoring. And then we're going to do some other type of algebra stuff, okay? All right, so E is factoring by grouping. Okay, whenever you're given 4 terms, you have to factor by grouping. So what do I mean by that? You look at only the first 2 terms and you see what do they have in common. So what these 2 terms have in common is an A. So we're going to take that A out. Okay, and when we take it out, we're going to divide by A. So we ask ourselves, A divided by A cancels and we're left with a B. Plus A over A cancels and we're left with a 3. So how I know if I did this right is I should be able to multiply this back in here and get this. Okay. Now we're going to go here. Can somebody put in the chat, what can I take out of these 2? What's my GCF of these 2? 2. Ashley said 2. Wonderful. Jack said 2. Yes. So we're going to do plus 2 on the outside. See how I'm already writing a parenthesis? Because I know I'm going to have to divide my GCF by 2. So 2 cancels here. I'm left with a B. Plus 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now, I want you guys to pay close attention to this. If these parentheses ain't the same, we did something wrong. Okay? These always have to be the same when you're doing factor by grouping. And since they are the same, we did it right. So we take our outers and we put them in one parenthesis, A plus 2. And then we can drop down one of our things that are the same, B plus 3. And this is our beautiful answer. Okay. Whew. Now, F, these kind of never my favorite. These are like, okay, I got this. But these are like, ugh. Says, I am 34 and I learned this at 14 left alone. I'm here doing them too. I love it. Yes. Good. Keep your brain fresh. Can you do polynomial identities with complex numbers? I'm trying to see if the TSI, I know the TSI does have complex. Well, let's see. I know I got some radicals. Oh, I got the PERT. But I don't have it on this lesson. But for sure, when I do TSI again, I will most definitely get those, okay? So I'm writing them down. Complex with the imaginary numbers. Complex. Yes, I got you. And if I don't get it on the live, then I'll for sure do a 1 video for you, okay? How do you know? Somebody asked, how do you know, let me see, how do you know if the division, it was division? I was confused. Okay, so I know it's division because you're taking out the GCF. And when you take out the GCF, what you're initially saying is you're dividing out the GCF. Because I'm dividing out the GCF because when you factor out, you're pulling it out, okay? So when I multiply it back in, I should be able to get my top. So remember, division undoes multiplication. So I hope that makes a little bit more sense. Thank you. I'm 62 and I'm refreshing my brain. I love it. Okay. So let's do this one, okay? You know, the way I learned this was, okay, we have a plus and a minus. So we're going to have a plus and a minus here, okay? Now you're asking yourself, what times what can give us 2x squared? Can we put it in the chat? What times what gives us 2x squared? Oh, somebody asked a great question. Don't you square b plus 3? No, you don't square them, because in a difference of squares, if we squared this, right, then when we multiply this all back, we're adding in another b plus 3. So that's a great question. No, you don't square it. You just, since these came out the same, that's what allows us to drop it down as 1. 2x times x. I love it, you guys. Yes. So we have a 2x here times another x, okay? Then we're going to ask ourselves, what times what gives us a -5 or a 5, okay? Oh, whoa. Well, we got to do, yeah, we can ask ourselves, what times what gives us a 5, okay? 5 and 1. Okay, now this is where it gets a little tricky. Okay, we know 5 times 1 is going to go somewhere here, okay? We need a positive 9 in the middle, okay? So let's just say if I put it here, this is really like a guess and check, what we're doing right now. So if we have 5 here and 1 here, okay? Now how you're going to check to see if you got a positive 9 is you multiply your inner and your outer, okay? And I'm just showing you, this is not right, but so if we have here 5 times x is 5x. 2 times a -1 is a -2x. 5 minus 2 gets us 3x, which doesn't get us a 9. So this does not work. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to switch these. Okay. So now if I do 2x times 5, okay, my outers, I would get, let's refresh, 2x times 5 would get me -10x, and then 1 times x will get me 1x. Well, 1 minus 10x gets me a -9x. I got the 9, but it's negative. So what do I have to do with my signs? I got to flip them. So I change this to a positive, and then this has to go to a negative. So my answer, there's multiple ways we could do this. We can do this a different way, you guys, if you don't like the guess and check method. So my answer could be 2x minus 1, and then x plus 5. And that's my factor of this. Okay. So there's multiple ways. This is the guess and check method, which they usually teach you in college how to do it this way. There's another way we could do this. We can do this the diamond method. You guys probably seen this way where you have the a times b and the a times c, actually. A times c and b down here. How many of you guys know this way? Do you guys want to see it this way? Or did everybody get it how we did this way? Do you guys want to see it this way, the ACB method? Yes. Okay, let's do it this way then. So first we would have to identify the A, B, and C. So our A is 2, our B is 9, and our C is -5, okay? So we're going to say A times C is 2 times -5. Well, 2 times -5 gets me a -10. And then our B is a +9. So we're thinking of two numbers that we can multiply together that gets us a -10, but adds to a 9. Can you guys put it in the chat? What's two numbers that multiply together to get us a negative 10, but can add to a positive 9? Paige said, I've been out of school for 6 years and never used this stuff. I love it. 10 and negative 1. Good. Yes. Okay, so we have a positive 10 and a negative 1. Okay. So 10 times a negative 1 gets us a negative 10, but 10 minus 1 gets us a positive 9. So these become our two middle terms that are going to go in place of this. So we write 2x squared plus 10x minus 1x, and then we continue here, minus 5, okay? So we essentially change this to a factor by grouping, which you guys can see, this is already becoming more steps, right? So here we're going to look at our first two terms. What can we take out of these two? Only looking at these two. What do they have in common? Can you guys put it in the chat? What do these two terms have in common? Good. I'm glad it's a good refresher. So A-Ray said 2x. Good. Yes. 2. Jordan said 2. Moo said 2x. You guys got it. So 2x. So that's what I'm factoring out. That's what I'm pulling out. So that means I'm dividing this by 2x and I'm dividing this by 2x. So 2 divided by 2 cancels. X squared divided by x. Well, I'm subtracting here, so I have 1x plus 10 divided by 2 is 5, and the x's cancel. Okay, now I'm going to look at my other two terms. Good. Moo said x plus 5. Good. So what can I pull out of these? What can I pull out of these? What do these have in common? Can everybody take a second to double tap their screen for me? Can I get to 5K likes? -1, -1. Wonderful. Yes. Can you double tap the screen? Thank you. Thank you for the support, you guys. I see those hearts coming in. So we're going to pull out a -1 here. That means I'm going to divide by -1 each of these. So a negative divided by a negative is always a positive, and we get an x. And then -5 divided by -1 gets us a plus 5. Now remember, I told you, if these two are not the same, right? We did something wrong. And since they are the same, we know we can continue. We did it right. So we take our outers here. Those are our outers. And we're going to put them together in a parenthesis. So we're going to do 2x minus 1. Which you see we got here, right? And then we're going to drop down one of our x plus 5s. And this is how we can, that's another way to do it, right? So it all depends on how your brain works, right? For some people, this is the easiest way. They know they're always going to get it right this way, right? And for some people, they could say, well, I'm going to just play around with the numbers and it'll be quicker for me if I do it this way. Both ways get you the right answer. So, you just got to remember, if you have a time test, which way is better, okay? How did you get -10 with the guessing? So with the guessing, we did what times what gets you 2x squared. So we put 2x and x. And then we said what times what gets you 5. So we said 1 times 5. And then we knew, since it's a plus and a minus, that our signs had to be plus or minus. And so how you check it is you do your outer. And you say 2x times 5 will give us 10x. And then -1 times x will give us -1x. And then you add these. Well, 10 minus 1 gets us a positive 9x. And that's how we knew we factored it correctly, by just checking to make sure we got that positive 9x. Great question. All right, let's go here, okay? So we have G. We have a trinomial with no a, our a is 1. Hallelujah, right? And then since we have all pluses, we know our signs are going to be plus and plus. All right. So what times what gets us x squared? Well, x times x, right? What times what gets us 9? Can somebody put it in the chat? What times what gets us 9? Good. Jordan said x plus 3, x plus 3. I love it, Jordan. Good. So 3 times 3 does, right? And we're going to put that here and here. And this is our beautiful answer. Now, how do we know if we did it right? Well, we could check to make sure we got that 6x. And how you check is you do your outer and you do your inner. So 3 times x is 3x. And then x times 3 is 3x. If we add these, we get 6x. So we know we did it right. Okay. Yeah, this was the easiest one. This one down here. After these little nightmare ones, right? All right, good. So we did factoring. Now we're going to perform the indicated operation, okay? So we have some multiplying. We got some adding. Let's see. What else we got? We got some subtracting, dividing, okay? So that's what we're going to do next. Remember, these are all polynomials, okay? Silly said, girl, I'm skipping today. I don't need this. Okay. I love it. I'll catch you on the next one. Ooh, love this because I hated math in school and still do, but this helps. Wonderful. Good. I'm glad I'm helping. All right. So let's do number 2. Okay. So A, we have 3x plus 7y. And when you guys see how we have plus and plus? So once you see that, we're basically combining like terms. So for my people that struggle with like terms, remember if you, a like term is based off the variable. So since this is an x, I'm looking for another x, which is right here. Then I'm going to look for that plus 7y. Okay, so we have a plus 7y here. And then I'm looking for another. So we have a plus y here. All right. And then we have a plus 7 and a negative 1. Okay. And lastly, let's see, what color didn't I use? We have this positive 4x squared. So usually this helps people that struggle with identifying like terms when you see the colors. So we only have one orange, so we can drop it down. 4x squared. Okay. Now we have 2 yellows, but we have a 3x minus a 3x. So 3 minus 3 goes away to 0. So this cancels. Okay. Can you guys put in the chat, what do we get for our pinks? What is our pink answer going to be? What do we get? Ooh, see, that said 2x squared plus 1x minus 36. Okay, I'm taking my TSI in February, and I've been watching all your videos, super helpful. Oh, thank you, Dom. Wonderful. I'm glad you're here with me this morning. And good luck in February. I hope you score the score that you're looking for or surpass it. And great luck. Good luck. Okay, so we have 7y plus 1y. Thank you so much for the rose. Can you make a video for ASVAB math tests? I have several videos on my YouTube channel for the ASVAB, even mini lessons. So if you follow me at Impact Math 19, I post all my lives that I do for the ASVAB. Go over to there on YouTube. And you could just watch for hours because I got a lot of material on there, like special mini lessons that breaks down each topic that's going to be on the test. So, yeah, that's where I'm going to be. Yeah, no problem, Peter. So 7y plus 1y. Remember, this is a 1 here, you guys. Whenever you have a variable, it's always a 1 in front of the y. So 7 plus 1 gets us 8y. Okay, that's our pinks. And then we have our blues is 7 minus 1. Well, 7 minus 1 is a positive 6. So this is our beautiful simplified polygon. Yep. Plus 6, plus 6. Good. Yes. So don't forget, this is a 1 right here, and we're adding these. So we got 8y here. Good. I'm glad you got it right, her. Okay, so let's go here. So there's multiple ways we can multiply by binomials, right? I'm going to do the box method with this one. Okay, I'm going to do the box method because I like the box method for one. And I feel like it helps students to really understand how to multiply. So we're going to put x minus 4. Remember, you could put it up here or here. I'm just choosing to put it here, okay? And then I'm going to put 2x and then a 9 right here, plus 9. And then remember this, if you old like me, okay? Remember those old school multiplication charts where you had to line up to find what times what equaled? That's what we're doing right now, okay? That's what we're doing, that old school multiplication chart. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. I was the child that had the multiplication chart on the table, okay? Okay, so good. So somebody said, A-Ray said 2x, x squared. I always love doing this. Good. So 2x times x gives us 2x squared. Perfect. Then to get this box, we go here. 9 times x gets us 9x. Then we're going to go here to get this box. 2x times a negative 4 gets us negative 8x. All right, what do we get for this last box here? And I see it in the chat. Negative 36. Tara, I see you. Yes, negative 36. Good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take these inner 4 boxes and write them out, okay? So we're going to have 2x squared plus 9x minus 8x minus 36. And hopefully you see some like terms here in the middle, okay? So we're going to drop down our 2x squared. And then 9x minus 8x gets us a plus x. And we have a minus 36. And this is how we multiply two binomials. Remember, it's very important to understand that math vocabulary, you guys. So when they're asking you, oh, is this a binomial, monomial? You're not looking at the question like, what? But you really know what it is. This is a binomial. It's just two terms connected through addition or subtraction, okay? So this is a binomial. How did you get the 36? Good question. We did 9 times a negative 4. 9 times a negative 4. And that's how they got negative 36. Wait, how did you get x? We have 9 minus 8. So 9 minus 8 is 1x. Great question, you guys. So you don't add 9x minus 8x? Yeah, you do. And that's how you get 1x. 9 minus 8. Good, good. No worries. Yep. Keep those questions coming. I love it. All right, let's go to this one. Okay. So we have to understand this squared. What this means is we're writing this twice. So really what we're doing is negative 3xa plus 4b times another one. Negative 3xa plus 4b. Now, let's do it a different way. Okay, so let's do this distributive property way. And what the distributive property way says, I'm going to keep this the same. And then I'm going to write this. I'm going to times this right here by my yellow. So I'm going to write this negative 3xa, and I'm going to times that by the yellow. Negative 3xa plus 4b. Okay. Then I have to take this plus 4b, and I have to times that by my yellow, which is negative 3xa plus 4b. Okay. So now I'm going to distribute, boom, and boom. Okay, we're going to distribute this. Can somebody tell me what we get for this first term? If I'm multiplying these two things together, does anybody know in the chat, what do we get when we multiply this times this? (9xa). Ooh, so close, so close. Negative 9x squared, a squared. 9x squared, a squared. Yes. Watch those signs. A negative times a negative is always a positive. 3 times 3 is 9. X times x is x squared. A times a is a squared. So it's 9x squared, a squared. Great job, you guys. Now we're going to do negative 3 times a positive 4, where we're going to get negative 12. Okay. Now, usually we write these in alphabetical order. So I'm going to write, well, I'll just keep it how it says. XAB. Okay. XAB. We'll just keep it how it is. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to go here. Okay. This is intense because there's so many different letters. It's like, so I understand if you get a little lost. But really what we're doing is negative 3 times 4. You get negative 12. When anybody asks you what's the letters times a letter, you just squish them together. It's not going to make sense in your brain. So you just squish them together. I'm writing X, A, and I'm putting that B with it. Okay. 4 times a negative 3. Good. I saw negative 12 in the chat. Remember, again, we're squishing the letters together. X, A, B. Okay. I'm just squishing all these letters together. 4 times 4 gets me plus 16. I have b times b, which is a b squared. All right. What am I going to do next? Am I done? Do I have to keep on going? Somebody said, ugh, never again. Right? Hopefully you made it through all your math classes that you have to do. Thank you for the shares and the double taps, everyone. I really appreciate it. So, does anybody see, are we done? Do we combine like terms? Yes, we have to combine those like terms. And here, okay, I saw cancel this. Can we cancel this is the question. That is the question to be. Can we cancel that? So we're going to drop down our 9x squared, a squared. Okay. Good. Finesse said negative 24. So somebody owes you $12 and they say, give me 12 more. This is what this is saying. Well, they're going to owe you $24. XAB. And then we drop down our plus 16b squared. And this is our answer. Our crazy looking answer. You explained it very well. I always struggle with math in high school. Oh, thank you, user. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Good. So now we're going to, so before, you guys, we added, we multiplied, and now we're going to go to subtracting, dividing. Okay. That's what we're doing next. Okay. So, thank you, Maggie. Okay, let me tell you, Maggie is the bomb, okay? I've been watching her videos. I always get asked for my new real estate people, like, do you do real estate math? Do you do real estate math? Maggie is your girl. She breaks it down. I'm learning so much about real estate from her. So just call Maggie. She has a whole program on real estate. Anybody that's struggling with passing the real estate exam, please go follow her. Just call Maggie. She is awesome, okay? So just wanted to give her a shout out because I enjoy her content. All right, so step 1. This is on most ACTs, you guys, standardized test, GED, TSI. They put this on here because a lot of people forget this step. You must distribute the negative. I'm telling you, so many of my students forget to do this. So what I mean by that is this is a -1. We're going to multiply here, and multiply here, okay? So what does that mean? I have a -1 times a +8 gets me a -8x squared. A negative times a negative is always a positive 6xy. And a negative times a negative is a positive y squared, okay? Now, I can only do this here because this -1 is attached. I cannot change anything here because I don't have any negatives here, okay? So I'm just going to literally drop this down, okay, as is. So we have 4x squared minus 6xy plus 9y squared. All right, now that I did that first step, I can combine. Vanessa, I love math, but never pursued it. I wonder if there's a field I can get into. Man, there's so many fields and so many good paying fields when you're in math, when you have a bachelor's in math. There's so many. Finance. I mean, it's incredible. And especially if it comes easy to you. Now, let me tell you, I do want to give you a little warning. The higher you get in math, the less of numbers you see. My students always say, why do they have to put letters into math? The higher you go, baby, you're going to not go see no letters. You're going to just be writing proofs after proofs after proofs. So, you just got to think about it. I was very shocked. Let me just tell you that. I was very shocked when you talk about real analysis and abstract algebra. Yes, Calc 3 killed me. Yes. Yes. I'm telling you, I was like surprised, shocked, like, what? This is considered math? So we have -6xy, a plus 6xy, and then here we have plus 9y squared and a plus y squared, okay? So let's combine our yellows. Can you guys put in the chat? Okay. So let's combine our yellows. Can you guys put in the chat logs? And I'm like, ooh, hold on. We almost done. All right. So 4x minus 8x. We're going to get a -4x squared. Okay. That's my yellows. We have a -6 plus 6. A -6 plus 6 cancels. It goes to 0. And then we have 9 plus, remember there's always an imaginary 1. So if you had to put it there. 9 plus 1 gives us plus 10y squared. And that is our beautiful answer. Okay. All right, let's go to E. Okay, so I like to look at this like each piece, okay? So if I just look here at 3 divided by 9, I'm looking at what they have in common. They have a 3 in common. So I can divide out 3 out of both of these. So 3 divided by 3 is going to be 1. And then 9 divided by 3 gets me a 3. So this cancels and it goes to a 3 on the bottom. Now you have to remember the rule here. Whenever you divide variables, which means letters, you're going to subtract the exponents. So 5 minus 1 gets us 4. Okay. Now let's talk about this one. We have 1 y on top and we have 7 y's on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. This y and this y cancel out. So we're left with 6 y's, but you have to pay attention to where you're left with them. We're left with them on the bottom. So that's where we're going to do y to the 6 on the bottom. Okay. And then we have b to the 9th on top. So this is our beautiful simplified division problem. Any questions on this before we get into this nightmare one? Long division, right? It's like, whoa. Thank you for all the follows, you guys. Thank you for the double taps. What are we learning here? We're learning the TSI math. It's a test like the AccuPlacer in some places for college. It's like an entry college exam to tell you where you're gonna get placed. Thank you, Brittany, for the roses. I appreciate you so, so much. Thank you, thank you. So that's what we're doing. All right. Okay. Let's go here. So we have x minus 3. And then we're going to put 3x to the 4th. Okay. And then I'm going to put plus 0x to the 3rd. Okay. I like filling them all out. Minus 25x squared plus 0x minus 20. Okay. All right. So now whenever you do long division, you guys, this just helps when you put the 0 here, right? It just helps when you're multiplying. I'm going to show you why that helps. So what I ask myself is, what times x can give me this first thing here? Well, what is missing here? I'm missing a 3. I have one of the x's. I need how many more to get to 4? How many more x's do I need to get to 4? I need 3 more. Okay. Any questions on this part? Because this is like the hardest part. Oh, you can't see? Let me scoot it up a little bit. So I asked myself, what times x can give me this first term? Okay. So I said 3. I'm missing a 3 here. So 3. And I'm missing 3 more x's to get to 4. So 3x cubed times x gets me 3x to the 4th. 3 times a negative 3 gets me a negative 9x to the 3rd. Okay. I know this is like one of the hardest things. If your brain is hurting, trust me, I understand why, because this is hard to understand. So it's because it's like the long division. How many people like multiplication more than long division, right? So now I'm going to subtract. But when I subtract here, I have to subtract throughout. So if I'm subtracting here, remember I've changed my sign to its opposite. I'm going to change this to a positive. So this cancels. Boom. Because 3 minus 3 goes away. Now I have 0 plus 9. Well, I get 9x third. Like long division, what do we have to do next? We have to drop down. So we're going to put minus 25x squared. Now I have to go back up here. Remember, you're asking yourself, you want it to look like this. So you ask yourself, what do you have to multiply this by to make it look like this? Well, I need a 9. And I have 1x. So how many x's am I missing? If I need 3 total and I have 1, I need 2 more. Okay, I need 2 more. Now I'm saying 9x squared times x gets me 9x cubed. Okay. 9 times a negative 3 gets me negative 27x squared. I have to minus. Don't forget, you're minusing here. You have to change your sign here. Boom. This cancels out. And now I'm doing negative 25 plus 27. I don't like it that way. So I'm going to say 27 minus 25 gets me 2x squared. I'm going to drop down my next. Just like long division, you always have to drop down the next digit. So plus 0x. Whew, right? Woo, whoo, we're about to run out of space. We ask ourselves, what do I have to do to make this x look like this? Well, I'm missing a 2. And I have 1x, but I need 2. And I need 1 more. Okay. You have to fill the holes in the problem. Yes, that's why I put these 0x cubes there. So it wouldn't confuse us. So when we get this problem, it's not like, where does it go? That's why I did this 0x to the 3 and 0x to the 0x. Great. Okay, so now we do 2 times x, which is 2x squared. And then 2x times a negative 3 gets us a negative 6x. Again, we're subtracting. And we have to change that sign. Subtract, change the sign. So, I'm running out of space. 0 plus 6 gets us 6x. And we're dropping this negative 20 by it, you guys, okay? So we have 6x minus 20 down here. We're just moving it up here. So I'm asking myself, what times x will give me 6x? Well, plus a 6. 6 times x gets me 6x. And 6 times a negative 3 gets me negative 18. Again, I have to subtract, so I have to flip this sign. And negative 20 plus 18 gets me negative 2. That's my remainder. And remember, when you're in Algebra 2, you write your remainder as minus 2 over what you're dividing by, which is x minus 3. And this big old ugly thing, whoo, right? Whoo, is our answer. This is entry level college. Yeah, this is no, it's not entry level. This is like if you want to be placed into calculus, like if you don't want to do the remedial classes and where you have to waste your financial aid money, right? We want to score as high as possible so we're not wasting our financial aid money on classes that do not help us get our degree. So this is more, this is like the algebra. If you want to be placed into algebra, because this is all algebra or higher. Can't we just use synthetic division? Yes, you can use synthetic division on this. Yes, hon. Yes, Brittany, I do GED math. I'm going to go live because I did plan some GED math practice this week. I don't know what date I'm going to do yet, but I do have GED planned for this week. I have ASVAB planned for this week. And what else do I have? I have the PERT, which is like another entrance exam for Florida people. I have the HESI. Okay, anybody taking the HESI that I'm going to do this week. So this is what I'm planning on, you guys. TSI, the PERT for my Florida people, and HESI for my nurses and other field people, and then GED and ASVAB. All right. But thank you so much for hanging with me, you guys. I do have to go. I have to get ready for my tutoring. So be blessed. Have a wonderful day. Knock out your Monday, and I will catch you on the next live. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Bye, you guys.